It involves an attempt by a group of Brockport businessmen to build a railroad. Now remember, this is only a year after the first railroad in America, which was between two well-populated places. And they wanted to build a railroad from the Erie Canal at the village of Brockport, running through Batavia and Attica to Olean, connecting the Erie Canal and the Allegheny River, a distance of 100 miles. And also, later in that year, they held another meeting to organize an attempt to build a railroad from Brockport, well, the Brockport and Tonawanda Railroad Company. That was to connect Brockport and Tonawanda, 64 miles apart. Neither of those efforts produced any result. They were going to capitalize the first venture at $800,000, which would be like $100 million today. And this was at a time that the village had a population of about 800 people. So the audacity of those men is astonishing. Railroads were in their earliest infancy. The handful that existed were only a few miles long and connected large cities in long settled areas. The longest of them was the 18-mile Albany to Schenectady line, built that same year. Other early railroads were Baltimore to Ellicottsville, a few miles in 1830, the first of them. The Harlem Railroad in New York City, Camden and Amboy, New Jersey, and the Charleston and Hamburg, South Carolina Railroad, which was built in 1833, 2 years later, was 136 miles long and was the longest railroad in the world. Yet these Brockporters were going to build two railroads totaling 164 miles in length, joining small villages in newly settled territory, either of which would have been the longest in the world at a cost equivalent to some $100 million today. Now, James Seymour, who was the co-founder of Brockport, after he left Brockport and became the first sheriff of Monroe County, also became the vice president of the first railroad into Rochester. But it was not until 1852 that the first railroad actually reached Brockport.
Sounds like Brockport wanted to be on the cutting edge of things then,
It didn't work out.
But it didn't work out. Okay, thank you.